Oops, sorry about that, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining me today. What we're going to be working on for today's energetic tune-up is the gut, the small intestines, the liver, the gallbladder, which work together in the whole digestive system. The gut is responsible, the small intestines is responsible for some pretty important functions within the body. So not only to take apart or discern what is needed for your body. So, vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, healthy fats. It extracts the chi from the food that you eat, from the water that you drink. It also is a function in water absorption. So, when you drink water, it gets absorbed through the small intestines. Now, with a small intestine or a gut that has like leaky gut, we've got lots of problems with leaky gut, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, digestive issues, constipation, uh, or bouts of diarrhea. That shows that globally, most people do not have a healthy gut. They do not have a healthy discernment. They're ruled by their mind and their thoughts instead of feeling their feelings like I am hungry, I am thirsty. Feelings change all the time. They feel their thoughts. A thought comes in and a feeling is associated with it. You're feeling your thoughts. Whew, that one feels really heavy. It just feels like I'm being squished from the head down. Oh, it's really hard for me to breathe. I can feel my stomach, my whole gut inflating, the diaphragm being pushed up into my lungs. So the gut is in complete overwhelm. Got to do a few things for that small intestines. Get it working nice and healthy. It helps you discern information, be able to tell the difference between thoughts, emotions, and feelings. They're all very different. They're all very different. We got it. So, and there's an over analyzing within the gut, and then the mind takes over, and we've gotten to over analyzing, over criticizing ourselves, being overcritical, judging, mean, pushy, and the thoughts ruling your life. So, first, we're going to work on a repair to the small intestines. We got to do a cellular repair to the duodenum, down through this intestinal lining, the small intestinal lining. We're in the villi and the microvilli, the millivilli of the small intestines. There's rips and tears. There's a bombardment, looks like black sludge, so backup of food from the large intestines backing up into that small intestines. We need to do a complete flush. And then there's a bombardment of, well, I don't have good digestion, so I'm going to take supplements. I'm going to add. What we need to do is actually reduce, unlearn, undo. And then there's a bombardment of adding. So the small intestines is not able to handle the overload of vitamins, those supplements. Even though they may be good for you, they may be supportive, the small intestines is already bombarded, and I'm feeling contraction and anxiety in the heart to handle more things to discern when the discernment function of the small intestines is already compromised. It's not in high functioning. So we'll do a repair to those small intestines on a cellular level, down through. Oh, there's a release there. There's a small deep breath. Going to run a hydration through the small intestines, the whole small intestines, and even down into that large intestines. Excuse me, there it's moving. Ascending, transverse, descending down and down into the colon, doing a full hydration and taking its time Taking its time. So the small intestines is having a hard time absorbing the water. So I'm feeling some dehydration here, dehydration within the lungs, within the heart, within the organs, dehydration within the kidneys, the adrenals, dehydration even within the brain. Woof. So we're going to do a hydration to the small intestines, down through that large intestines into the colon. We'll do a hydration to um, the feces. So your poops, we'll hydrate them, not making them too loose, so you can think for yourself. If you have constipation, we want to add some hydration to make things move. So a constipation is not able to let things go. So you hold on to things, high bouts of control. I need to control myself. I need to control my feelings. I need to control my environment. I need to control my kids, my spouse, my work. You can think of where maybe someone's told you you're so controlling, or you need to let go. That's another way of saying it. Just let go. But we're not doing it in that way, because that's also quite abusive to say, oh, well, you just let go. Well, the body does that naturally on its own. And thanks, if there was a recipe to let go, I would have done it years ago. I would have done it long time ago. So then there's another thinking that I need to let go of something, I need to force myself to let go. So that's still more control. So we'll run a hydration even to the fecal matter, to the feces within that's in that colon area, to the colon itself, to help get things moving. Now, if you're suffering from diarrhea, we also want to run a hydration because you're losing a lot of electrolytes. So for those suffering diarrhea, we'll run a hydration with a balance of electrolytes and minerals, and the vital substances and salts, so that you're not becoming more dehydrated. Oh, and I'm talking really quickly. It's like I can't catch my breath. Can't catch my breath. I can't catch my breath. So bringing me up into that diaphragm, and there's all this emotional content there. Not emotional content, excuse me, in the sense of I have blocked emotions, but this is really thinking. This is that emotional content, beating yourself up, victim mentality, martyr mentality, blame, shame, guilt, anxiety, blocking that diaphragm from doing its job of massaging the liver, massaging the gallbladder, massaging the pancreas and the spleen, getting that nice open close, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion. There's a nice release there. So we're going to dump emotional content out of that diaphragm. Oh, linking that to small intestines for discernment and release. I'm getting very dizzy. It feels finally like there's some oxygen getting up into the brain. So you don't have to force your breath, but just notice your breath. Sit in the lungs, sit in the shoulders. There, it's finally starting to move down. Or do you have those nice diaphragmatic breaths? You don't need to force your breath. You don't need to force your breath. Okay. Now we're going into the brain. We're going to tap cortices. So if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, you can reach out to me and I'd be happy to show you, send you a video on how to do this, or get on with you really quickly for a few minutes and show you how to tap your cortices. Balances the brain, improves brain function, improves communication between both brain hemispheres. We need a nice, healthy brain. It's sending out the programs for our body. Also reduces stress and anxiety, relieves pain. And it also tends to the cold spots within the brain. So if there's dysfunction, pain, stress within the body, it's reflected in the brain as cold spots. And so by tending to these cold spots in the brain, we're effectively tending to the whole body. Tapping your cortices. There's a nice release. And head brain to heart brain to gut brain. We're one big brain, so all of our parts all of our brains need to be talking to each other. And there's still some anxiety around the heart, around that chest, so the lungs. So we'll take a look at the lungs and the head for the mind, the head brain, which has nothing to do with the mind, but the mind's coming in and it's like, well, I've trusted my heart before and look where it got me. Oh, I've trusted my gut before and look where it got me. So I'm going to take over from here. Well, it could be that the heart uh, was not a healthy heart in the sense that maybe you were following your thoughts that you took as I am following my heart, and you were not following your gut. Perhaps you were following thoughts that you took as following your gut. And then it turns into defensiveness and then going into the mind for all of the answers to your problems, which I promise you will not find there. Oh, there's a nice breath on that one. Now we're going to go ahead. You can link those three: head to heart, head to gut, heart to gut, heart to head, gut to heart, gut to head, and all transmutations, all possibles. So in any which order, making sure that this is one big, nice flowing system of good communication between the head, the heart, and the gut. All right. I hope that felt really nice. Feel nice and rejuvenated for the day. Thank you for joining me. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and get updates for upcoming courses and workshops. If you'd like to work privately, that would be a pleasure. And I will see you all next week.